So, um, a lot of you know that on August 13th, I was in an accident. I ended up in the bottom of a creek, 25 to 30 feet below the road, upside down. It crushed the cab of the truck. Down to about where my middle of my chest would be. I was able to self-extract, and I climbed up an embankment. I stood in the middle of the road. I knew I was hurt. I didn't know how bad. I spent 5 days in a hospital. In a significant amount of pain. I personally feel that they should have kept me for a lot longer, especially given what I'm going through right now. I'm not gonna lie, I'm scared, and I've not been scared of very many things in my life. This makes 3 times that I have been injured to the point where I was looking death in his face. I'm mobile, I'm talking, I can feel my extremities, but the danger's still there. This is 7 weeks after the accident. I'm still wearing a back brace. I'm still wearing a shoulder sling. I'm having to wear shoulder rotator cuff supports anytime I go anywhere. I went and saw a neurosurgeon today. And I was informed that 2 of the damaged vertebrae are not getting better. That based on my most recent x-rays, they're getting worse. So the extent of my injuries are a broken sternum, both of my shoulder blades are broke. My T3, 4, 5, 7, and 8 vertebrae are compression fractured. And my T3, T4, and 5 are compressed between 20 and 80%. The T3 and T4 appear to have gotten worse. So I don't know how many people who are going to see this understand cervical, thoracic, and lumbar vertebrae. Your cervical is above your shoulder blades and up your neck. Your thoracic extends starting at the shoulders down to just below the rib cage, and your lumbar extends below the base of the rib cage to your tailbone. So if you're paralyzed from the T2 to the T7 area, it could paralyze your breathing, your ability to breathe on your own. Not just your, walking ability to walk, but, everything. So my critical areas right now are my T3 and T4. My immediate response when hearing that is fear. Because I know that my blood relation family, they won't make the call that I need. Possibly bordering on malice. Okay. So once I reached that conclusion after about 35 to 40 seconds, I asked for a legal DNR. So here's what happens. If something happens and those two vertebrae shift in almost any direction, it's going to paralyze my breathing. It's going to paralyze me from that area down. I am not going to live my life on a ventilator. I've always been ready to go. If you needed a tree cut down, I was there. If you needed something broke, I was there. If someone needed help, I was there. I wouldn't hesitate. I wouldn't think twice. I wouldn't pause. A lot of times I wouldn't ask questions. But I've asked two of my closest friends to make sure that if that happens, that my DNR is respected. One of them is he's a man of Christ. He is a faithful servant. But he's my friend. The other one is one of my oldest friends. He is analytical. He is intelligent and honest to a fault. When that day comes, I hope that both of these men who will be contacted will make sure that my DNR is respected. Okay. I have a lot of friends. I don't have that many family members anymore. Oh, but Cody, you're young, you're 37 years old. Well, you know what? I've also brutalized my body. I've made a lot of mistakes in my life. And I've spent the majority of this afternoon hating myself. Now keep in mind, I go back to this neurosurgeon. They want to see me in 2 weeks. Between now and then, they want me to have an MRI. No, I haven't been able to work since August 13th. I was actually on my way to work when this happened at about 6 o'clock in the morning. But the company I worked for, they had to terminate me a few weeks after this happened because It's a corporation, and this accident didn't happen on the clock. I wasn't in their immediate employment right there at that time. I was on my way to work. So, you know, I set forth a plan of action because dealing with this, I don't know how I'm going to afford the medical insurance, which, by the way, is United Health is still bullshit. I'm just being honest. It's still crap. You pay $340 a month, and you still are paying out the nose for any medical treatment. They barely cover anything. When it comes to the procedure that they're discussing doing, keep in mind they're going to be dealing with the thoracic region of my spine, T3 and T4 and T5. There's always a danger when you go poking needles or foreign bodies into the spinal region. You can go too deep and damage the spinal cord. You can inadvertently shift the vertebrae. They're talking about potentially injecting something between my vertebrae to spread them apart. Well, there's danger in that too. So yeah, I'm scared. My daughter is potentially going to lose her dad, and I haven't been the greatest dad. I made a choice to work nearly constantly on the road in order to support my daughter, and a woman that turns out was just manipulating me and my daughter, and I didn't see it. So that doesn't make me a good dad. Sacrificed time with my child to make the money that was needed to support her and take care of her, and in the end it didn't even matter. So I don't know what's going to happen in the next couple of weeks. I know that if it goes the wrong way, I've got two people that I know for a fact I can trust to make the call that I've asked them to make. Because they respect me, and I respect them. And they know that even now, if they asked me, I would not hesitate to help them. I was asked some time ago if I could go back in the past and change anything about my past, would I? And I used to say no. Now I'm not so sure.